Welcome everyone back to the hidden week 3 part of the tournament. Obviously we had to delay due to the intense scheduling of last week, but we are back to bring you the final results of the Lazer Grand Arena. We have got 3 players left in this tournament, Emmerich, Malashevsky and Xylis, and we are going to be seeing the first 2 of those in the winners final play here right now. My name is Dimash. Joining me for this epic adventure is the ever so wonderful Blank Tap. How are you today, sir?
Quite well. It is quite an exciting matchup, and one might say an unlikely one. Seed 1 against Seed not 2, but Seed 23. I remember a post of Xylis's where he kind of just dooms and kind of just accepting his fate, fighting against Emmerich, and here he is in the winners finals in the week 2 part 2 of Lazer Grand Arena. Quite a road that he has paid for himself, Dimash.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, just thinking, you know, especially from Xylis, you know, coming from the 23rd seed, working his way up through the bracket stage was very, very tough, but exciting to watch. And Malashevsky on the other side having a great opportunity through this as well. We're flying through these.
What are these bans though? Even Malashevsky is very much surprised. DT2 ban from Xylis? Who is he? Who's this imposter?
That is a spicy ban indeed.
No more DT, Dimash. We're out. Now Hidden 3 ban coming from Malashevsky, and wow, what a start! what? I'm actually kind of confused. I'm actually kind of shaken up from these bans. This is not what I expected actually from both of these players.
Well, we know overall how dangerous Malice can be on this sort of stuff, and you know, Xylis, you do kind of expect him to go into speed. It is very much his bread and butter of what he's always done, but we've flown through these and we're already into the first pick. Malashevsky on at Nomad 4 here.
Yeah, you know what, theoretically Malashevsky favorite map, he is the tech player of all time, that's for sure. Accuracy out of this world, but Xylis is here for a reason. He can definitely pack some punches in these kinds of map. Nonetheless, again, you do not need to win the point. You just need to soften the blow as much as you can, because it is a set format after all.
Yeah, that set format critical to this style of matchup, which is why a lot of players opt to go into their protects out of the gate. We've seen it here, try and put pressure on Xylis, and already you can see accuracy-wise, Alan's so much more comfortable in comparison. See if he can hold on to it as the map prepares to hit the drop.
Sure, but Xylis with a very questionable and elementary slider break in the beginning, and now going to be trailing behind by about 25 kgs early on. Going into the first and basically entire KI section, Xylis will find the second break after a while, and Malashevsky holding on very strongly, Dimash.
Yeah, definitely. Now Malice looking dangerous, does find the drop though, so he's going to soften the blow, but the accuracy wise is so much in his favour right now, and another break coming in from Xylis, not going to help that whatsoever. He left in Malice dust, particles, trails, whatever you want to call them. Malice is dominating right now on this early pick, and Xylis struggling to respond.
The room's getting dusty. The vacuum cleaner is not working. Xylis is in a bit of a mess right now, trying to scramble for any kind of combo. But Malashevsky still keeping it tidy and clean. 450 and still growing. Lead at 70k in the middle of the map, potentially reaching 100k soon enough. But there's the break. Xylis does not trade it. There's an opportunity to soften it even more, Dimash.
Yeah, and there he was. He did have a big combo, but it has now dropped it. Just over a minute left in this matchup. Sylas trying to focus on damage control right now because that accuracy not in his favor. Maybe if he can keep this to 80k, apply some pressure on the tail end of the set. Let's see how they get on. Another break came in for Sylas and traded by Malajewski long after. It's going to be well over to 100k now. Malice looking very dangerous in the first set. Let's see how the tail end of it goes. 30 seconds on the clock, run it down.
But there's the miss, though. It's not gonna reach 100k, that's for sure. Zyla is holding on to his dear life. 300 combo and still climbing one last section. But the chain, quote-unquote chain miss, there's no such thing in Lazer. But the chain 100s just kinda lowered that accuracy even more. And now Malajewski well over the 6-digit score difference mark.
Yeah, now end of the map. Score margin is very clear. It did push back up to over 100k. 710,000 score for Malajewski on the first map in the first set. Sylas just shy of 600k. Good start for both of these players. You know, definitely strong contending scores. And plus, the other thing to factor in as well, we've had an entire week where everyone knows what the pool is. They know how well everyone can perform on these style of maps. It really is just a battle to see who is more consistent on the day. Because I'm sure Sylas has put a ton of practice into that No Mod 4 to try and keep it competitive with Malice. So I'm curious to see where he's going to go from here, especially considering he's banned 2 DT maps. I mean, what?
I mean, that is once again quite questionable, but also another questionable thing is what do you mean he has a towel on the top left of his monitor? What are these methods, Damar?
I don't know. I can't answer that question. I don't keep one on mine, but you know, the top players they might be different. I don't know. We'll run with it. Maybe there's some strat. Maybe it's this. Hidden 2, Fat Lip.
Yeah, not hastily going into his own protect. He knows that this is slightly unlikely to go to his side. So maybe just getting rid of one of the more 50-50 maps. If he gets 100k difference, that's good. If he does not, well, that's one dangerous map out of the pool. But yeah, definitely this map it's quite awkward, that's for sure. That's all I can say as a hidden 2.
Oh, let's not forget that the big advantage of this style of tournament is that it is all set based. It doesn't matter how much you win by or lose by. It's all about winning the set, and maybe this for Sylas is a way of isolating picks against Malajewski. You know, especially in the later sets, forcing him to pick into maps that maybe are more 50-50, maybe something that Sylas can play a bit more.
Getting rid of this very much unfavorable map. Sally is already looking very uncomfortable, and I think the play is indeed to lose harder. Not too good on those pentagons, but Malice definitely looking clean. I think this is a really good option for Xylis Damage.
Yeah, it's not quite going his way. Malice comboing through that earlier section. 50 seconds in. Still getting a couple of hundreds here and there, but it's much different on the other side of the screen. Xyla's struggling much more. Not struggling from the average player's point of view, but when you're facing Malajewski, you really are struggling if you're not getting near 98 on everything. And another break coming in is going to separate that margin even more. He just isn't missing. Gotta hit those as well.
Perfect stacking, not catching him off guard. He's Very annoying sudden tosses, not catching him at all. Malishevsky still on the 99.49 full combo run. Silas on the other hand, he's just enjoying life. He's just enjoying the map and the custom question mark from Fiery, I think.
Well, we're down to just that last 50 seconds now. And Malice finally finds that break. After that break section, it does catch you out, does break your focus ever so much. But Xylus now with a bit of combo, maybe can try and do a bit of damage control. To bring that under 100k, that'd be massive. Not for the set, but just pure confidence-wise, I think. Definitely help the mentality a lot more. But into the last 20 seconds, it's very clear at this point. No chance for Xylus to make up all that score margin. It is going to be a Malishevsky win in the first set.
Quite the clean set indeed. Going into his own protect, just having that much needed gap for Xylus to be forced into picking one of his weaker maps. But Malishevsky, despite the 242k lead, that will only award one singular point, and now this might be a protect pick angle for Xylus himself.
Yeah, it depends on how he wants to play this. He can either choose to pick one of Malice's strongest maps and give up this set, or, like you said, he could pick into his own protect and try and mount a comeback and take a point off, which would give him access to, if he can keep that score margin ahead, he could take it to a set 4 where he'd have the advantage again. But he's got to get there, so he's got to decide whether he's going to go into it, and he's going to go into the low mod Attitude Remix.
Oh my god, very interesting. Still keeping that protect in his back pocket, just waiting for that one singular golden moment to unleash it. For now though, he's playing a dangerous game, that's for sure. The Marshall Laser mod Altitude Remix, it is going to be death, where, it's a bit of a motion sickness simulator.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a rough old time on the old Laser mod. We've got the depth mod applied, which kind of just changes how the whole map is perceived, how you have to read it. Lots of different factors in this one. And on top of that, you've got a reading gimmick style of map as well. It's really quite tricky. A lot of standard players won't have seen this style of map before, and we'll see how the players can adapt to it.
Absolutely, this map very difficult on standard, very difficult on stable, but with the depth, it just gets that much spicier. Malishevsky, on the other hand, though, finding the first miss, very interesting.
Yeah, Xylus gaining a little bit of breathing room here. And we did see as well that Flying Tuna last week actually did pick into this against Malice as well. Didn't work out for him, but hey, it might work out here for Xylus, as he does find that miss. Malishevsky mounting a bit of a comeback though, but can't quite close the gap at the moment. His accuracy's behind, but another miss coming in from Xylus is going to flip things over.
More custom sections now, the doubles, the triples, everything is being mixed, and Xylus just kind of struggling on the overlap quads. Bit of a misread on the squares as well. Malishevsky finding a misread on the back and forth, but nonetheless 40k difference, and it's increasing quite quickly as both players struggle at 95% accuracy.
Yeah, very most difficult part of the map, that is, to combo through. And Malice came off on the better side of it. Is finding some breaks now though. So Zyla's going to be able to claw a little bit of that back. Just with that very slight combo advantage, but it's going to be a slow climb. Zylas is really going to have to lock in this last 50 seconds or so. Try and claw back the rest and give himself a bit of a buffer for Malice's next map. Malice is still keeping combos. He's right there with him. Who's going to be the first one to break? It's going to be Malice.
There it is there an opportunity, Damars? Is there light at the end of the tunnel? Zylas, can he go to it? He's reaching for it, but he's failed to do so. The extending stream catching Zylas off guard as well. It's a 20k difference, definitely a bit of a buffer for sure, but that's into Malishevsky's own pick. Zylas kind of struggling at the end here. Malishevsky is holding for his dear life, but the zigzag catching Zylas off guard yet again. Crisscross applesauce with 10 seconds remaining. I don't think it's gonna go his way.
Oh, it looks so promising, but the ending pattern's causing too much trouble for Zylas, and he goes down by 48,000 score to Malice. Pretty much at the end of the map. I was hoping he was going to be able to do something with that and really give himself a nice little bit of buffer, especially into the ending, but a couple of misreads puts him behind. And now it's back over to Malishevsky to see what else he's got in his toolkit. Entire hard rock pool untouched at this stage. Makes me wonder if that's where we're going to be going very, very soon, or whether he'd just stick in the sort of Nomad pool that we saw in his Protect pick. You know, he's got that Nomad 1 or Nomad 3 to kind of play around with. Nomad 3 definitely more his sort of speed. But no, he's going to stick with that Hard Rock 1.
Yeah, once again, 48k difference, not much, but these kinds of maps, these kinds of jumps, focus maps is very hard to gain any sort of substantial advantage on, especially when both these players of this caliber is really good at attacking it. It is going to come down to combo and combo only. And for Suki Akari with Hard Rock, that is a tall order, and with, you know, pressure, it's probably Zylas needs a miracle for sure to get 50k out of Malishevsky.
On Hard Rock 1, yeah, that is a tough hill to climb. However, it does mean that maybe Zylas on his Lazer mod, maybe it wasn't his best map. We did see a couple of misreads, so maybe not completely proficient on it. Maybe isolating another pick for that third set. Or maybe he's just going with maps that are most even. We won't know till we get to the third set, but right now we've got to get through this Hard Rock 1. Malice's second pick of this matchup, and it's to try and close out the second set and get a break set out for himself on the Hard Rock 1.
Yes, 5.9, very difficult to get right and be consistent at it, especially when both players has missed in the opening section. 2k to the side of Malice, but Zylas needs more than just a tie.
Yeah, there is a lot of this map still to go. They're both keeping things quite even, you know, aside from an advantage on accuracy from Malice. Not a lot in it thus far in the first minute, and a miss coming in from Malice, maybe opening the door slightly for Zylas. See if he could do anything with it. Remember, 48k, that's the key number. Anything above that on the score difference below is what we're looking for. If it stays above that line, Zylas will have the opportunity to break this set.
It's the first guy, no problem. There's opportunity, the Marsh, and Malishevsky did do it as well. But combo advantage in the side of the Canadian in this lobby.
He's got a long way to go, though. So much left of this map. Still over 2 minutes. They're not even halfway through yet. But it's looking good. A lot of combo build-up. Remember, this doesn't really have any drain time. It's mostly just consistent aim. Nothing too crazy from what he's already hit thus far. If he can settle into this, he's got the accuracy advantage as well now. He's settled in another miss coming in from Malachevsky. What is going on?
It's over 48k right now. The Marsh hits the stream into the second K section. Silas, is this the method going into Lazer mod, which is Malachevsky's favorite, it seems? And taking Malachevsky's own pick, hold the front door. Still 48k difference, but both player trades. It's staying at a solid 70k. Silas, how is he stealing Hardrock 1 away from Malachevsky, the Marsh?
Oh, good to see recover. He's got the combo advantage again with that extra miss coming in from Malachevsky, but he's got to do something with it. Scorebar just a little bit too close for comfort, but at the moment, Xylus in the lead in this second set. Locks in here, he would have the opportunity to break.
And there's the break section! Right, going to the last KI now. Xylus with the towel method. Maybe to dodge the nerfs, but he dodged the circles instead. Down to 58k, only 10k buffer the Marsh. Is there an opportunity? Malachevsky does find a miss. It's an 8k difference. Silas, can he hold on? There's another miss. The trades coming all across this lobby. The last few jumps will determine this entire set. Silas still holding on, trying to do a recap of finding here again. Nervous, there's a trade for Malachevsky.
Oh, we're going down to the wire.
16 seconds remaining.
Oh, no, slider.
The final few jumps. 54k. Down to 51. Can he hold on? Down to 48 and 46. The slider break to this side. The set. But there's a trade. It goes back to Silas.
What?
Silas wins the set! It's 1-1, ladies and gents!
Xylus goes in strong. Hardrock 1. Picked it up, put it away. 1,800 points. Xylus, you cheeky devil. The second set is yours. Unbelievable.
What have we just witnessed? Oh my god. That was something else so much. And now going back to Malachevsky something, I mean, oh my god. My heart can't take that.
They both missed on slow sections of that map. And we thought when it happened to Xylus on the slow slider, that was it. That score had dropped below, but just when he needed it, Malice finds a miss at the worst time in the last, what, 2 seconds of the map? That's ridiculous.
Out of this world, that's for sure. Props to Xylus on pulling that level of a heist, that's for sure. And now, the score is tied, ladies and gentlemen, 1-1. But it's Malachevsky's turn to pick once more. And what are we thinking here, the Marsh? Doesn't seem that Hardrock is the way for now. So it's gonna pick... No, it's not pickable, no? I don't think you... Oh yeah, you cannot pick your opponent's protector. That's the rule. Oh.
That's why Xylus protected it. That's a very good sign. Malachevsky can't pick it. Xylus has to. So his hand is forced and he's revealed his secrets. He's gone to Hidden 1. He's gone to the reserves. So now we see a bit of death and romance. So this hidden map, much more of a wide angle aim, kind of similar to No Mod 1 in the fact it's testing the aim, but again you've got that hidden mod. It adds a lot more reading. It's a much lower BPM than what we saw on the Hardrock one. Very different. Much more focus and reading requirement needed to actually do something with this. Let's see who has the advantage after this one, because honestly I'm not sure anymore. I thought it was Malice all the way, but business has picked up.
This is especially tough to get any advantage on because we've seen how Emmerich and Flyingtona did last week, and this map is so awkward, it's so dangerous, it's so easy to miss at every single moment, especially on the KI section where it just spikes so much. But there it is, Malishevsky picking it. Let's see what he can cook in this awkward A map. Silas with the first miss.
Yeah, those big sliders catching him by surprise. Now, Malice really starting to storm ahead already. There comes the miss though, slows things down a little bit, gives Silas a bit of breathing room, but accuracy's not in his favour. So he's going to be relying more heavily on the combo to make up the difference, which he does have. But he's got to take it far, and the miss comes in, not letting him taking it any further.
It's a bit of a slip up there for sure, and another one. Malishevsky 150 combo away, accuracy in his favor. He has all the cards, he just needs to play it. 30k in the lead, and he can absolutely push it even further.
Got the potential. Very long map, a miss coming in from Xylus, going to put him further behind now in set number 3. But there's still time. We're nowhere near halfway through this map, but he's got to find some consistency. The misses coming in left and right, it's hurting his score. Malice still now running ahead with this big combo. He's looking to do something with it. But there it goes, it stops there, just shy of 60k score difference. Silas now trying desperately to make things up, but he's not been the most consistent thus far. What can he do with it?
He's gonna try. That's all he can do, and try he will do. Combo is equal, accuracy not so much, but Silas is putting up a fight to slow the advance of Malishevsky down. For them hitting this very awkward section, going into a bit more of a mellow and slower part of the song and map. Still 2 minutes remain the march. There is still work to be done for both of these players.
Absolutely. A long way to go. This map nearly 5 minutes in length. There comes a miss though from Malice. Xylus, maybe a chance, an opportunity. Doesn't find it. The wide angles catch him out. Very hard to react to those.
And now, the slow section. Nowhere to miss. And after that, one last KI for both of our players. Malishevsky aiming to get more in his back pocket, but unable to do so. Now the score lead goes down to a solid 53k. But Xylus is still draining him away right now, the march.
Absolutely.
Oh my!
A miss from Malice. Gonna let Xylus close the door, but it's denied straight away. It was very even at this stage. So it's looking at the accuracies at the top, 98 to 97. Malice still in favor to extend that score a little bit. But it's a much closer margin for Xylus than we thought it could be. A quarter of the way through this map, it looked like Malice was going to be pushing well over 100k and out of Xylus's real opportune range to fight back. But if he can just maintain this combo to the end for another 45 seconds or so, we'll keep things nice and even. That's what you want.
And even we will stay 40k. It's not moving anywhere, the march. Finally, just a nudge on that accuracy drop from Xylus to put it on the 41.7k mark. Maybe a bit of a, some combo spinner at the end, but Malishevsky has the lead initially as we go into Xylus's own pick. So far, still even. And oh boy, I think this might be a make or break set for one of these players, that's for sure. This is the most 50-50 set we will probably see in this entire match.
I forgot how long that spinner was. That spinner's really long. It's like nearly 20 seconds long. Sorry, I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, that
But
is
yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah, gotta train your spinners, ladies and gents.
So there is the buffer. 43k for Xylus. What has he got in the tank? He's still got those 2 hard rock maps. Has he broken Malice's psyche on those maps? Or does he want to go with something more consistent? I mean, we're talking about 5 maps left in this pool. He's got his own protect, but he knows that Malice likes to, or wanted to pick into it. So he might just leave it there and not touch it and take his chances on other things. I don't see him picking necessarily into the No Mod 1, especially seeing as how Malice has mostly prioritized his aim-focused maps. So he's going to go into the precision aim instead. Sorry, the flow precision. I tell a lie, it's flow precision.
Yeah.
It's been a week. It's been a week. I'm catching up.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It's not as fresh in my memory as well, but it is indeed just that, and this is gonna be very tricky, that's for sure. Xylus, when things are in a bit of a standstill, can he make it move to his side? 43.931. Okay, is the line to cross, and this map, it's very tricky, it's very difficult. Every movement must be deliberate for you to achieve success, and right now, Xylus will be the first one to find those misses.
Now this pick, much more of Xylus's playground. He's very good at precision aim. So I do wonder if this is a tactical move from Xylus. Is he just trying to get this pick out of the way? Not going to focus on contending this set and open it up for set number 4. He knows he's got that in the bag now after winning the second. So he will have advantage there. He is mounting a good recovery though, but Malice still holding strong. Another break from Xylus though, going to really, really hurt. That one hurts.
There's a trade, but it's still a 100,000 score buffer, and Xylus, I don't think that he is going for a win with this pick. Probably. It's kind of hard to differentiate once a player is like underperforming or when they're deliberately picking maps they are very uncomfortable with to get it off the way.
Yeah, it really is. It's a tough position to be in, but similar combos at the moment. One accuracy much higher than the other though, unfortunately. For Xylus fans, he is trailing at the moment, over 100k against him. But he's trying to hold it in there, and a break coming in from Malice. He's going to start to pull some of that back. A second miss now, kind of chaining them together a little bit. And Xylus has dropped that down to 72k. How far can he take this? We've got 17 seconds left. I can't believe it'll be enough, and it won't. That miss. Gonna do that. It's a good try.
It really is, but that was indeed the final nail in the coffin as Malishevsky takes his second set, and now Xylus will be the one to pick going into our fourth. Number 1 probably out of the question, as you said, Damarj. Malishevsky loving his aim-centric pick, but we still have plenty other choices, that's for sure. What is it now? Hot Rock 3, No Mod 3, and actually his own protect. But it's kind of scary because, you know, Malishevsky, he does seem to be drooling at that specific map, that's for sure. And Xylus does not care.
Xylus finally bringing it to the limelight. No Mod 2. This is much more his speed. This is what he's known for. We talked about how we were very surprised to see those DT maps get banned out by Xylus. But this is very high BPM, very stamina intensive, 200 BPM streams. He is very comfortable on this style of map, and the fact that there's no chain missing or anything like that, does, I would say, put Malice maybe at a slight disadvantage, but I also know Malice can do 200 BPM. So it's not really that far. It's just, again, who drops more? Who gets those more 100 chains? Let's find out.
That is true. With Notlock on the picture, I don't think we'll be seeing any stark differences in terms of aim and tapping, but those one misses is just what sets you apart from having that 1000 combo lead and 0 at all. And right now, Marshkowski already finding some of those misses. The Marsalis trades it out, but still accuracy that even.
Yeah, Silas, the first one to start chaining those hundreds. The first one to drop the accuracy, and the score advantage goes away with it. I understand the difficulty and the position Xylus is in. He didn't really have many options to pick into. Now it's kind of working against him. Here we go, more spacing on the streams. He's struggling already. Malice really locking in here. 99 accuracy still. He's running away with the combo accuracy. He's got the whole world in his hands right now.
And Xylus in a standstill position right now. 500 combo behind, 3% accuracy disadvantage. Not a good situation for him whatsoever. Malicious is still holding on to this dead stream. Now he's dropping some more 100s, but seemingly to be on his foot once again. Going into the spike now. The spacing gets even more uncontrollable as we go bigger and bigger. But Xylus not unable to hit these big boy patterns. Malachieski still with the 1000 combo. Finally finds a trade, but not before gaining himself an 80,000 points cushion damage.
Yeah, he really ran away with it there. 1k combo. Pretty much need half the map. Full comboed for Malice. You know, he had those difficulties on the early patterns, but once he adjusted to the map, he was running away with it. But you do have a slight advantage on Xylus' side. A couple of chain misses and some hundreds from Malice would let him back into this matchup. It's still potentially, but not without the combo, Xylus. You've let that one go. And now Malice back in the driver's seat.
He is still driving to his destination. 650 combo. Xylus still trying to catch up to the bus, but there's no stop in the malicious key bus right now. 770, still climbing. 1 minute remains, and he's still building up that score lead. Going to reach the 6-digit mark soon enough, but finding a miss. All Xylus can hope to do is to soften the blow and pray for a massive 100 drops from Malishevsky.
Gets the squares to break things up, but then we're back on the flow, and it's the sliders that catch him out before we get there. And that was his last opportunity, I would say, to really close that score gap, because Malice is going to push this well into the stratosphere. Over 100k. In the last 20 seconds of the map, we're counting it down. Is Malice going to build anything more, or will Xylus defend what's left?
It's not much left, that's for sure. The march going into the last stream now. Both players assessing it, but only one has the advantage, and one may be able to pick his own map in this current moment. With 90k lead, it is best to go for his best map, I feel.
Yeah, Malice got a couple of options left up on the board. 3, in fact, to choose from. He's got Jeans d'Armes, No Mod 1, he's got the No Mod 3, which is much more of your control style, gimmicky type of map, or he's still got a hard rock map open to him. He's 1 for 1 on the hard rock maps.
Ooh, gonna be what won the March. Very interesting pick, and actually logically makes the most sense. It is the longest, actually the longest map in the pool, if I remember correctly. Very difficult to gain any substantial combo, substantial lead in this map. You basically have to full combo the entirety of it, because we both know that these players are gonna get 99% minimum on this map.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much up there, tied for the longest map in the pool. It's right up there with the hidden one, which is, you know, this is very much a tiebreaker style map. This is a former OWC tiebreaker, grand finals from 2019, and is a sort of a second rendition of Azure Operator, for those that have seen that. Same band, same mapper, same kind of style, really. It's a great map. I love this map, and we're in for a real treat with this one. But like you said, very aim heavy, incredibly intensive and long. It really requires good consistency, and both players have been tested on that today.
And one definitely stands out more than the other, but Silas trying to hold on right now. It's not only consistency, this is going to be nerve test and a half. The pressure of everyone watching you. With 90k deficit, definitely not the easiest thing in the world right now, but both these players has the potential to full combo this map from a grand final map. Now we're playing it for fun as a Nomad 1. This is something else for both these players.
Yeah, absolutely. Really doing well, actually. A minute into the map thus far. And nothing major to report. Both players, really good accuracy, really good aim right now. And like you said, one has got the perfect run thus far. That can bear on your mind, can put a bit of pressure on you. And he decides to drop it. He decides to drop the SS. Don't worry, we're all good. We're all good.
Still the combo fully intact right now. Maliciously holding on to his dear life. 90k cushion is a comfortable one, but he cannot be lacking in this Nomad 1 in his own pick, that's for sure. Both these players going through half the map, going into the alt, no one finding the miss, the 1/3 coming in as well, but we're about to get into a bit of a shred section now. The stream's coming in for both of our players, some boss riders to go along with it. No mistakes just yet. There it is.
Oh, dead middle of the map as well for Xylus, and he comes in with another one, but Malice manages to mash through it, gets some hundreds mixed in there, but makes it through. And now the wide angle snaps don't catch him out either. Watch out for these, keep and maintain absolute focus. But really, it's Malice's point to lose. He's got 91k in the bank. And now he's running away with this. And with everyone who's watching right now, I'm not sure Xylus has got a hope of coming back into this one.
Definitely a bit of a heartbreaker for our dear Canadian here. Maliciously still holding on to the full combo. The closest one to get an FC was Emrek, and now with 1 minute 30 remaining, it does seem there is a possibility going to the linears. Xylus finding some more misses, but not Maliciously. He's staying squeaky clean, scrubbing across the floor and the rooftop as well. Everything will shine, and he will shine even brighter. 1900 combo with 1 minute remaining. Is it doable, Damarj?
Only time will tell. Now approaching the last minute. We are there. Alice wants this FC. You can tell.
Oh
he
my.
makes it through. Taps a little late, but gets through it just fine.
5 seconds remaining.
nasty
It is
part.
definitely a possibility, the Marsh. Still looking good into the final few jumps. Some wanted, some bursts here and there. He's still climbing the mountain. He has yet to reach the peak, but everyone's looking at him. Everyone has a clear view on the man. Once again conquering this Nomad 1, 2,360 combo, still climbing 15k difference. And he is not going to stop, he's going to reach for it all. 680 PP, 99% accuracy. Maliszewski gets it done. 3, 2, 1. Good game and well played.
What a finish. What a result for Maliszewski on the final map. Doing exactly the same as what Emrak did in his last matchup. Finishing strong with a full combo. And that right there ends the winner's final. It is Maliszewski who goes through undefeated, but not with that perfect record. Credit to Xylus, he took the first set of Maliszewski this entire tournament. And let's not forget, Xylus isn't done. Yes, he lost this round, but he is still in the tournament. He will now drop down to face Emrek in the Losers Grand Finals. We finally made it to the Grand Finals, a week behind, but we are here. So, that matchup going to be taking place relatively soon. We don't want to keep you guys waiting too long. That match will take place at 12:30 UTC, so in roughly 45 minutes or so. However, we will take this time to reset ourselves, reset our minds and all the mindsets. And that was a fantastic match. Lightsap, any closing notes?
Yeah, not much other than that will not be the last time you'll see of Xylus, ladies and gentlemen, so stay tuned. Again, 45 minutes. Get some water, get some breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whichever you prefer. But that is it for this match, because we are gonna go into the grand finals soon enough. It's been an honor casting with you. I've been Blangtap, and my boss Demarsh. We bid you guys farewell. See you later.
that you are ready for your second lesson, let us look back and see what were the most important things you have learned from your first lesson.
What is it that you want to do?
All right, welcome back everyone to the Lazer Grand Arena. Just coming back from that match against Malice versus Xylus, we have Emrek versus Xylus in the losers finals. This match outcome will decide who gets third and who gets a chance to fight for the crown up against Malashevsky in the grand finals. But a banger one here. Emrek coming in as a 2 seed. Xylus coming far, far into this bracket as a 23rd seed. This is a rematch of these two players. We saw them face off in the winners side of the bracket earlier last weekend. And in surprising fashion, Xylus managed to take down the mighty Emrek in a 3-2 thriller. But this time it's going to be very different. This time Emrek is not sight reading. This time Emrek is practiced on the pool. He's had some great performances. So this one should be a great one. Casting this match is me, Vorty, and I'm joined alongside the almighty T1G. How you feeling, man?
Feeling good, excited for this. You know, we got a week for the tension to build and for the hype to build around these last couple of matches in this tournament. So really ready to go and excited to see what these two can do. You know, Emrek looking for the revenge match here, of course, as you mentioned, Xylus with the shocking upset. I don't think anyone saw that coming. Not a win you'd expect to see for Xylus in that matchup, and you know, so credit to him for taking it the first time. But Emrek coming in ready to go. You'd like to think this time around, after having several more matches on the pool since then, he's going to be locked in, I think, for this match in a way that he kind of wasn't the first time around. And so I would definitely expect to see Emrek a little bit favored this time. It's going to be interesting to see how these two players adjust to an opponent they've already seen on this same map pool, and for whom they have quite a bit of match data as well to have seen scores from. But you got to think Emrek's going to be the favorite, but also, you know, it'll be interesting to see what Xylus can do, you know, in the second time around. I don't know if we've ever seen anybody beat Emrek in a 1v1 twice in a row. It's a tall order.
Yeah, I think we've seen this from Emrek a couple times in previous tournaments where on winner's side in the bracket, sometimes early on, sometimes in the middle section of a tournament, he'll kind of be a little bit lax in one matchup. The other player will be super, super prepared, fires blazing, and Emrek will be knocked in the loser's bracket. But once Emrek's in the loser's bracket, I think he usually takes the rest of the matches super seriously, and I think we've seen that from him. Previously, obviously had a fantastic match, a really, really close match against Tuna, taking that 3-2, but we've seen some great scores from both of these players. I still think there's some maps that Xylus could 100% take away from Emrek, like that Hidden 3, for example. Xylus had a really good score on it in their match. But overall, you got to win 3 sets against Emrek. It's going to be a tall order, but the possibility is always there. We've seen the protects come out. Xylus protecting the Lazer map, feeling good on that. And Emrek protecting the Hard Rock one that Xylus just took away from Malice, interestingly.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting, you know, trying to figure out how to approach a match against Emrek, a player who's so good at so many different things. But if you've got, you know, maybe a super hard reading gimmick, that might be one area where he suffers just a little bit sometimes compared to some other players. The Hard Rock one, I mean, Emrek just really good at aim, right? No, nothing crazy there. Hidden 2, Hidden 3 Emrek bands, DT2, DT3 Xylus bands, which is weird and feels super backward when you consider these players' skill sets. Wow, we're doing this fast. But there we are nonetheless. Nomad 4 first pick. We're just getting right into it. We're wasting no time at all. We've seen this Nomad 4 quite a bit. Chrono Kinesia, both these players are going to be familiar with it. It's been around the tournament scene time and time again. And they, of course, will have played it a few times over the course of this week. In their previous matchup, this was, I believe, a first pick there as well. Xylus took it by about 160k, or 135k, excuse me. So interesting to see if he can somehow win this map twice against Emrek. Not something you expect to see many players being able to do, but the opportunity is there, and the history is there in Xylus's favor.
The history is there in terms of the side read for sure. Emrek did have an FC against Tuna on this in the final set they played, so now with practice Emrek. But, you know, you never know. It's a tech map. There's a lot of deceptively difficult cut patterns, things to throw you off here that could mess anybody up. And FC is by no means guaranteed in any world, but that average score should have improved. This will decide the tempo, and Emrek already finding a break really early on, just before this first BI, so give Xylus that opening, and not the perfect start from Emrek.
And if I'm Xylus, this might be the type of map that I would have been prepared for in this matchup, I think. Obviously, with as many matches as they're playing on the same pool, it's not like you're specifically practicing a map for one match. But some of these gimmick picks, knowing that we might see some mechanics bans, might have been a way for Xylus in this match. Again, it's not often seen as the strength of MREC. Yes, he's very, very good at this, but, you know, stereotypically when you think of him, you don't think of tech, even though it's a good skill set for him. And so Xylos coming in saying, this might be winnable for me, gives him a little confidence, and he's still holding on to that FC, still has the accuracy advantage as well. As we reach the halfway mark, man, gonna be building up a little bit of a lead is Xylos on his opponent's pick. Finally, his first break here in this aim control section. And the door now opens back the other way for MREC to try and pull this score back, but he breaks as well, so no advantage gained.
Big breaks from both players, but it's tied up and back to Xylos' favor with his fantastic accuracy. I mean, if Xylos can come out on the other side of this first MREC pick with a score lead, I think at that point you pick like your best, your second best map, even maybe the Lazer map, if he's feeling good on it, and just secure that first set. It's so big here if you can get up a set on MREC right from the beginning. And so far, both players now recovering with similar combos. Xylos losing a little bit of accuracy, but not missing. That is the important thing. A minute left in this map. Can Xylos hold on with that score lead in this first map?
It's like he might be able to, but there's the big drop. Oh my, that was a pretty bad set of misses there for Xylos, unfortunately. Combo gone, accuracy drops a little bit more, and it's basically dead even on the combo, or on the accuracy. MREC now with a humongous combo lead, 20k to build up, and he can probably hit this entire ending, right? You've got to think that the tapping aim control, no though, it's not going to happen. The tapping aim control could be MREC's downfall here, and they're dead even on the accuracy. Similar combo, and it looks like it is going to be Xylos potentially taking some spread. This one, another break though, and it goes back over to MREC. Man, when presented with opportunities, these guys are just not able to take them very, they're not grasping the bull by the horns, as they say. But it may be MREC to make something out of this, to turn lemons into lemonade with a little lead at the end of the first pick. It's not going to be a big one as he breaks yet again. But he is going to be able to pull out a 6,700 score lead. That's basically feels like it's tied, especially when it's your own pick, and that's all you can get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, this is still a great opportunity for Xylos to pick one of his best maps here and try to take this set. I mean, it feels like a pretty rough start from MREC. I think even both players could have played that better. I mean, yeah, and a good spot for Xylos to be in, really. I think MREC saying I suck in chat, likely not his best run. Especially when you remember, I think in Lazer scoring, a 700k is sort of in the range of like a score V2 400k, like 450k maybe. So yeah, definitely not the best start.
No, not at all. And as I was saying, if you suck, what does that make every other player in the entire player base? Well, true, but also like that was definitely not either of these guys' best ever score on this map. You got to think. So it's going to be Xylos to pick, and it's the Nomad 3, so we are going to go into some more of the gimmick in this pool. This was, of course, that map that shocked MREC with what it was the first time around when he hadn't played the pool, wasn't prepared for their first matchup. Of course, the CS 6.6 Air 7.4 precision aim control. And this was very, very late, I believe, in the first match. I think this was in the 4th of the 5 sets. And MREC only put up 359k on it then. We've come a long way. We've come a long way from that moment when that was played in the first meeting between these two. Got to think that both those scores are going to improve. But Xylos saying, again, I'm going to pick stuff that is reading and gimmick styled, because I think that gives me the best chance in this matchup, and he only has to make up 6,700 points on it, so you definitely can understand his logic here.
I mean, I think, to me, this pick feels like hoping that after that Nomad 4 performance, MREC is just off right now, because we did have that, MREC didn't have the best side read on this, of course, not a great side read map, but MREC put up a 620k up against us on Tuna. He put up a 700k against us on Blocks. I think that beats out, both of those scores beat out Xylos' performances on this map, so MREC, with preparation, has the advantage on this, takes a start in the lead, takes a lead in the start, with both of the players finding breaks early. So a little bit of a daring pick. I almost think maybe the better move was to just go for your protect there. I don't know if this was the right move. I think you're taking the long-term approach. You're trying to win 3 sets, so obviously you don't want to use protect too early, but so far, Emmerich advantage, and this is not what you want to see for Xylus.
No, it's not at all, and Xylus continuing to struggle with another miss there. You know, as you kind of alluded to, Emmerich with prep time, you know, the internet's favorite debate, Batman with prep time versus literally anybody you can put up against him. And that's pretty much how it is with Emmerich as well. If the guy practices, he's just going to become the best at every skill set he touches because he's the best player to ever touch the game in general. And you can kind of see how that can be the case in some of these tournament matchups as well. Now, he did find a break. Xylus does have the combo advantage, but Emmerich still holding the accuracy advantage and already at the halfway mark. 36k, it's dropping. It's not dropping rapidly. It will come down a little bit, but Xylus gonna need some help here to avoid losing this first set on his opening pick. Not quite working out so far. Time remains if Emmerich breaks, but that's a big if, and not an if you like to live your life by, and Xylus is in fact the one to fall, and that might just hand this set over to Emmerich.
Yeah, I mean, I think the possibility with Emmerich breaking is there, and we say this map is just so tough to combo. I think we haven't really seen many big combos on this map when this gets picked, but really the question there was Xylus holding his combo and did not manage to hold it long enough. But there's still potential in this last 30 seconds if Emmerich absolutely, you know, blows up on a stream, but looks to be pretty solid here. Xylus, though, as Emmerich hits some of these 100s, the score is actually going down.
This is going to be very close here into the last 10 seconds or so. If Emmerich breaks again, Xylus could take it, but I don't think it's going to be enough because Emmerich's still holding on. There is another miss. Xylus still holds, but he breaks as well. And there is going to be set 1 just like that. It was a close one here, Vorty. This only 41k combined score gap, but Emmerich did make up some more ground on the pick from Xylus to solidify it there in those last moments.
Yep, that's 660k from Emmerich, averaging out sort of in between his score against Tune and Box. Obviously, massive improvement from when these players first played it. Man, I feel like if you're Emmerich here, you kind of feel like you just got away with robbery, because I assume that 700k was near the bottom of his locals on that map. So to still start this match off with that first set win, you got to be feeling pretty good. Likely will play his other picks better than that. And yeah, I don't know. I think it was still a fair pick from Xylus. He played that map pretty well, but I think he was just really hoping there that Emmerich would kind of blow up, and he did not.
I think, you know, the likelihood of Emmerich having multiple blow-up matches against you is pretty slim. And as you've talked about, you know, his scores have really improved since their match on this pool so long ago. Emmerich has played a lot of matches on this pool since then. It's basically a different entire player. And oh my god, you're picking Nomad 2. Not entirely sure about this choice. I feel like this was just, you picked your Lazer mod Protect here. But he's going Nomad 2. This is, of course, the Mazarin Nomad 2 that we've come to know and love. Just infinite streams with some quite difficult flow aim as well. And Emmerich is one of the best Nomad 2 players out there. Xylus obviously very good at tapping as well, but I don't love this for trying to establish a lead in the first map of this set, quite frankly. I really feel like picking your Protect here would have been a much better idea, but we'll see how it goes. Xylus maybe knows something about his performance on this that we don't, and Emmerich with the early break. All right, whatever, man. That's how this is going to happen.
Okay, here's why I like this pick. So this pick could not work out. We'll see. Emmerich missed early. Xylus has the Act lead. I like this pick because it's like you look at the other maps in the pool, a lot of them don't look good when your opponent's Emmerich. And this map could be one of them, but I think here Xylus is a fantastic tapping player. You're just hoping, I'm praying to the Lord, to the heavens above, that Emmerich is having a bad tapping day, and I do what I can to win this map and pop off. And I almost think it's a good strategy. Unfortunately, Xylus is missing on the aim. Who put aim in my Nomad 2? Unfortunate for him, as Emmerich hits all the aim, unsurprisingly.
You know, you're relying. You know, you have to put up a really good score, and Emmerich has to put up like a subpar performance if you want to win a lot of these maps. If you're Xylus, so I do understand, like, you know, pick something that might give you a decent chance. And this is such a long one. If you have any trouble at all with your tapping hand on a given day, like, you will struggle with it. So as you said, if there is that very small percentage chance that Emrek is off on his tapping this morning or this evening there, you give yourself an opportunity. But missing on the aim in the stream map against the best aim player to ever pick up a pen and tablet, or a mouse, I guess, for that matter, is maybe not the greatest. We'll see, though. Plenty of time to go. It's only 50k, but that's largely, it's a 500 combo lead, so no surprise there.
Yeah, best aim player to pick up a pen, tablet, mouse, steering wheel, any kind of aim contraption you could think of. Silas unfortunately breaking on the Floyam this time, so not just the aim that is catching him out, and Emrek recovering flawlessly from that early break. And now with this over 80k score lead now, Emrek as well on great accuracy. And some of the aim patterns in this map can definitely get you, especially when you're just locked in on Floyam mode. Gotta be ready for those big jumps, but Emrek obviously unfazed, and yeah, now you just need a blow up here, but there's no note lock in Lazer, so the messes can really only stack up so much.
Yeah, there's always that hope in the back of your mind on stable client that your opponent might chain miss an entire stream and lose 50k score in one go. And as you said, that's just not going to happen here. And there is another break from Xylus, unfortunately, so I'm going to continue to build that lead out. And, I mean, it's 150k. The gambit of this Nomad 2 somewhat backfiring, unfortunately, on Xylus. And you can't blame him because, like you said earlier, there's just not many picks that are going to feel very good against a player like Emrek. And unfortunately, you flip the coin on this one. Maybe you have a run where you have seeded in practice, and it felt really good. And this is not that run, unfortunately, as they trade some misses here, getting into the late portions of the map. Some very, very difficult flow patterns in here. And Emrek did struggle a lot in that portion, but there's another aim miss on those big squares for Xylus, so he's not going to be able to take advantage of it to try to work back this score lead. And, well, Emrek looking to come out of this one as we have the last 30 seconds still to play, just the ending to come. Emrek looking to come out of this one with a pretty sizable advantage for the second set.
Honestly, obviously, Emrek won't know what Xylus missed on, but I think you should pick some aim after this. Xylus not hitting those squares in the fashion you would want to.
He did protect Hard Rock 1, so.
True. But yeah, nice 200k score lead for Emrek on Xylus's first pick of the second set. So yeah, about as good of a start as you're ever really going to get, and Emrek should have plenty of ways to close out the set.
This is a great position to be in if you're Emrek, gaining a 200,000 point advantage, because this allows you to pick basically anything you want in the entire pool. Emrek trying to pick the Lazer mod because that picks it away from Xylus on a set that's basically already over. Obviously, he can't do that because it was protected, so Xylus is the only one who can pick that. But like, you can see where his thought process is with that attempted pick. Instead, I think you maybe pick like the Hard Rock 2 or Hard Rock 3, one of those maps that, again, not necessarily bad at, but not your 100% best pick either, because you've got so much wiggle room to work with here.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you take away one of Xylus's better options. So as long as you don't lose by 200k, you win the set, and taking an option would be good for the long-term strategy plan. Definitely don't want to pick like your protect when you're this up.
Time here. He could, if he really likes, say the Hard Rock 1 because you protected it, doesn't want to pick that here, he could go like DT1 or one of those Hard Rock 2 or 3 options. I think those are good, or even like the hidden one, right? Again, just something that isn't his absolute best pick here. I kind of like the idea of the Hard Rock 2, frankly. But it is going to be the DT1, so we're going to get our high BPM DT pick, Pandora no Hako. This is 293 BPM, which is pretty speedy, I dare say. Some very fast bursts in this one, which is something that Xylus is pretty well known for, but he's down by 200k, and I frankly, again, Emrek not worried about losing that much to him on this point.
Yeah, I think this is a good pick because Emrek's like base, like floor score on this should be like 800, 850k. I can't expect him to get much lower than that generally, which even if Xylus FCs, like, you'd have to FC with pretty good act for you to lose the set, so pretty good pick, obviously on average. Emmerich should come out on top, but with maps this short, it's still something Xylus is good at, still something Xylus can play and could FC with a good run. Could always lose it, but by 200k, it's asking for a lot.
Yeah, kind of just the beauty of having that size of lead is you really have a lot of freedom in your pick, and your performance doesn't need to be quite at 110% like it might otherwise. But there is the early break from Xylus, and a relatively short one here, under 2 minutes. So early breaks can already start to take any chance that you had of winning this if you're Xylus and throwing that right away. Unfortunately, Emmerich, he's holding. He's got nearly 99 acts because, you know, yeah, no real surprise there. So I think you can consider this set pretty much over now, and you can start thinking about set 3, where Emmerich will probably pick Hard Rock 1 and Xylus will probably pick Lazer mode. And then we'll just see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, Xylus' only real chance of taking the set was FCing this map, and he has the act for it, like 99%, great accuracy. But just that one miss, very unfortunate, as Emmerich is still holding. And I mean, at this point, we'll just see a nice FC from Emmerich. Give some morale boost going into this third set.
You're doable, still holding the FC into the last few moments of this map. Some more aim, a couple more bursts here in the ending. Emmerich playing this as comfortably as you'd expect from him. And there it is.
Beautiful.
The full combo.
Beautiful.
That is a lovely play.
This is a nice 782 PP, dude. Oh man. This would have instantly killed a 2016 OSU player. Oh man. What a score to just easily get. And Xylus playing a pretty good play on that as well. Just one miss, but it's not that.
Like, big thing with the format too, right? If you're Xylus, like, you're coming into that map pretty much already having lost the set. And so, like, you can just play it and not have to worry. But it's a shame that, like, no matter how good a score he got, it was pretty much never going to matter.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a shame. And then to have your opponent just drop an FC on your head anyway, like, man, what are you going to do? So, Emmerich 2-0 up on the sets. We'll have the first pick here in the third set. I mean, you just go Hard Rock 1, right? You just pick your Protect, and you just put the hammer down, and you say, we're ending this match. I'm going to FC the Hard Rock 1, and I'm going to take a 100k lead into the last map. What I hope, if I'm Emmerich, to be the last map of the match.
Yeah, I think Protect here would be the strat. Alternatively, I still think like No Mod 1 is a very good map from Emmerich. He's FC'd it before. So that's still like a solid, in case you're thinking, okay, what if I somehow lose? Goes to Hard Rock 3. Honestly, I think any pick that isn't Hidden 1 is fine. And I think keeping your Protect in case this match goes longer, which I think is fine to do, right? You're up 2-0, you've had some great performances, you don't need to just tear into your Protect right away.
The only reason, though, like, the only reason I could think to not pick your Protector is, like, you're actually somehow worried about losing this set and you want to have your Protect for later. Which I don't know why you'd be saving it, personally. But, whatever. I mean, it's fine. I understand it, and I don't, like, blame him. I don't think this is a bad pick or anything, especially the way this match has gone so far. Again, I still feel like Protect probably would have been the best pick here, but, like, there's nothing wrong with this because it's Emmerich and everything he picks is going to be the right pick. So we'll just see what happens.
Tough map though, Hard Rock ult map. Basically 150 or 300 BPM. And just by virtue of being the skill set it is, one of the harder skill sets to be consistent on in this pool.
See if these guys can lock in, get that consistency going here. And right as I say that, Silas with the first break.
Oh.
You hate to see it, man. It's just unfortunate. See if you can settle in the rest of the way. Plenty of map to go. This is a pretty long one, verging on 4 minutes. I think this makes it, what, like second or third longest map in the pool right up there. Obviously, the No Mod 1 being the lengthy boy, 5 minutes. Couple breaks there in that section from Xylus, not what you want to see if you like the idea of him making a comeback in this match. Emmerich, of course, still holding the full combo into this Ki. See how he does on these snap aim patterns that Vorty was talking about. he can continue to hold through this Ki, he'll be able to build himself up a bit of a lead here with double combo of his opponent and similar accuracy as well.
Yep, Xylas building up a good recovery now, but will need Emmerich to drop in. Remember, he does have that laser map protect, but that's another map that Emmerich's improved on, playing it against, I believe, Tuna, and having a pretty significant improvement from his play against Xylas. So even if Xylas does win that map, it's not going to be by the biggest margin, most likely, unless Xylas has, like, memorized that map to the point of FCing, which I do doubt. That's a very, very tough FC. So we'll need a drop from Emmerich here to try to close out this score lead, make it not as unrecoverable. And with his recovery, I mean, he'll be right there if Emmerich misses.
Yeah, absolutely. Just those couple of early drops in that first section, and he's been fine since then. So definitely gonna, at this rate, minimize the advantage that Emmerich's gonna gain from this, but he has to keep holding in order to keep that statement true. I would like him to not make a liar out of me here. If he can keep going, hold the combo through to the end, you know. If you can keep this score gap to 70k or under, perhaps, things seem viable. And there is, unfortunately, the break for Xylas coming into this next Ki time. And guess what, guys? Emmerich is still holding the full combo because, of course, he is. I wish this was a surprise, but it's just not. This is just what happens. And Emmerich now going to run that lead out even farther. It's to 130k. It's still growing. And there's still 45 seconds left as well. We could be looking at 200k. No, not anymore. It is the drop from Emmerich. So that lead is going to stabilize a little bit. But, man, this is going to be a big advantage off of this pick.
That was a massive, massive combo from Emmerich on this map. So it's always cool because Emmerich is obviously so good at everything. You usually think of him for his mechanics, but then he'll just go on side quests. Like when he FC'd the map, that's like the diff name is just 5 Fs, and it's just an absurd, like, hidden hard rock alt score. He'll just drop that occasionally, just to show you he can, and he's shown it here. There is really nothing he can't play at the highest level.
No, and if he can't play it at the moment you say it, he'll be able to play it in a couple days if he wants to. Yeah. Like, his rate of improvement on skill sets that he's not a master of is really, really unheard of. It's unprecedented. And, you know, perhaps alt snap aim is not at the top of the list for difficult niche skill sets, but it is just another way of showing the dominance that he's capable of. And that's 125k score lead off of the first map of this third set. And now Xylas with the last pick, possibly of his entire tournament, on the line here. Has the laser mod protect. Does he go that way to try to stay alive at least one more set?
And I said he accidentally had Rafa's skin there. Actually insane to play that map with Rafa's skin. That just sounds annoying. I'm just imagining it. That doesn't sound fun. But obviously still getting a fantastic score. And now Xylas, as he mentioned, potentially his last pick, and it will be the laser map. His protect makes complete sense. There's really no other pick here, other than maybe Hidden One if you just want to use your protect later and you're thinking of winning the 3 sets, but you need it here. 125k score deficit. It's not impossible at all. It could happen with this pick. And Xylas actually, to give him credit, played that Hard Rock 3 pretty well as well, getting over 760k, very respectable scoreline. So he's kept it just close enough that if he pops off on this laser map, it is possible to win the set.
Yeah, and I mean, this match so far through the 5 maps we've seen is really not an instance of Xylas playing badly. It's really just Emmerich playing better. So, you know, if Xylas can find some consistency on this pick and Emmerich has a little bit of a poor run, 125k is strictly speaking feasible, if challenging. As we go in, it's depth. It's one of the coolest mods out there, man. The way it affects the playfield, the way it affects the patterns and the reading on this map is very, very cool. I love watching people play this. It is a really unique sort of experience. And let's see if it works out here for Xylas. Gotta bring back 125k on this map, which basically feels like he needs an FC or near to it. Like, you gotta figure you need to put up, I don't know, 800k, if not more. And that's an early break, and that's not gonna help things here at the start.
Emmerich, though, trading shortly after So accuracies are pretty close, but obviously Xylus is the one in the hole, in the deficit. He needs to be playing this better than Emrek, and right now it is Emrek favored, especially with that extra Xylus break. And you know what's funny about this mod particularly is it's almost like you have like a limit on how much you can practice it per day, because it kind of hurts your eyes, hurts your head. But both of these players now trading a bunch of misses. Still though, on the side of Emrek, another chain miss from Xylus that just gave Emrek a 20k score lead. And Emrek just needs to keep this at better than a 120k loss, and he's doing that fantastically right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, Xylus is struggling as much, if not more. I guess it is more just based on the scoreline than Emrek here, which is not what you want to see on your own Protect when your back is against the wall and you have to win this point by 125k to keep the match going. It's 40k in the favor of Emrek. He has the combo lead. He has the accuracy lead. I fear, Vorty, we may be saying a somewhat speedier than expected goodbye here to Xylus unless something really crazy happens in the last minute of this map.
Yeah, I mean, bit of a chance here. Xylus, 300 combo, Emrek did just miss. Still, though, obviously needs to win by 120k, and there's 40 seconds left in this map. Unless we see a full collapse and Xylus holds on to the very end. Even then, I don't even know if that's enough scoreline. A lot of hold on for now. Xylus actually kind of tearing it up here in the ending. He is putting his heart and soul into this outro.
And there it goes.
Unfortunately, finds the break. I honestly think there could have been a chance, but that miss will seal the deal.
There wouldn't not have been a chance. It was 30 to 40k in his favor with still about 25-30 seconds to go. The opportunity could have been there. Unfortunately, not able to reach out and take it. And Emrek, despite losing this pick by 9k, built up enough of a lead on the preceding map on the Hard Rock 3 to comfortably win set 3 and to comfortably win the match. 3-0 to Emrek. The Aussie Phenom continues his run through the losers bracket all the way to grand finals for the latest Emrek versus Malashevsky matchup. Boy, oh boy, where have we seen this one before? Oh, that's right. It's in every high-level 1v1 that occurs, and it's always a banger.
Always a banger, dude. And yeah, I mean, Emrek here avenging his Australian brethren. Xylus previously beating out Emrek in the winners finals, of course, and also not winners finals, but winners bracket. And Xylus taking down Atkins to have to do a civil war match against Box. But now Emrek, the top Australian dog, obviously avenging. And yeah, now as you said, we'll get another Malashevsky versus Emrek, the two titans of the OSU tournament scene. And that'll actually be pretty soon. That'll be in 27 minutes, I believe. I believe that match has also been dragged a little bit earlier than it was previously going to be. So hope to see you all there. That should be a heater. I'm gonna be excited for that.
It's going to be a great match. You do not want to miss it. It's the grand finals of Lazer Grand Arena 2025. It's Malashevsky, it's Emrek, it's the top two 1v1 players in the world for the past several years, meeting once again in the continuation of their rivalry. It'll be at 13 UTC. You just want to be there. You just don't miss it. You're not allowed. Don't go anywhere. For now, though, thank you for watching. I've been T1G, he's been Bordy. Congrats to Emrek, commiserations to Xylus, eliminated, but a third place finish, nothing to sneeze at, so well done to him. But it's Emrek, it's Malashevsky. See you on the other side, 25 minutes for that matchup. Like, be there, just be there.
When you think about the best tournament player in the world, there's maybe a couple of people that come to mind. A couple of years ago, people might have said Bubbleman for being the most decorated. More recently, right after the World Cup, people may have said worst HR player for his performance for South Korea. But with both the most badges and the most ridiculous performances in team tournaments and many 1v1s throughout the history of his tournament career, Malashevsky has to come to mind as the best tournament player in the world. But when you discuss the greatest player of all time, Emrek is the one who comes up in conversation. He has built a immense lead over number 2 in the rankings. He has performed ridiculously well in tournaments throughout his career as well. And to see these two match up 1v1 with stakes is a very rare occurrence. The last time was in Course Ace Closed 2024, and before that, you have to go back to 2023 for the Round Table 2 and Course Ace Closed 2023 Grand Finals. We are in for a treat between the greatest tournament player of all time and the greatest player of all time. I'm Dio. I'm joined by Doomsday for a hell of a match in Grand Finals of Lazer Grand Arena 2025.
It's an honor to be here for this one. This matchup is insane. I don't think much else really needs to be said on that. These other two, I think many expected to be meeting in the final, the last two. And as mentioned, it's been quite a long time. It's fairly rare. I don't think Emrek plays too many 1v1s. He plays quite a bit of team tournament business in community tournaments, but in a matchup like this is an occasion. Malashevsky has looked nigh unstoppable. Xylus made a big fist of trying to put a roadblock in his way, taking a set off him earlier on in the winners final. But Malice still found his way here, but this is the first time he's facing Emrek in this tournament. I don't think he's bumped into him at all, so yeah, safe to say, if anyone's taking him down, it's got to be Emrek, and well, here he is.
We are going quickly through this one as well, Doomed. We're already through all the bans and protects. Hidden 2 and the Laser mod banned by Emrek. DT2 protected for him. Hard Rock 1, DT1 banned by Malashevsky. Nomad 3 protected for him. And the first pick, Hidden 1, already through for Malashevsky. Death and Romance by Magdalena Bay. We have not seen Emrek play this yet today, but throughout last weekend, as they played the same pool as this week for Grand Finals, I do believe both players played this a few times, but both of them have had very good scores on this, and I think, as with many of the maps in this pool, it's probably going to come down to how well they are playing on the day rather than a lot of preparation. When you have two players who are this good facing off against each other, when they can kind of play everything in the pool, especially at this star rating, I think a lot of it just comes down to how well they're doing on the day of. So let's get into it. The Hidden 1 here, AR 9.2, 216 BPM, and pretty much full awkward aim the entire way through this map. It's lots of wide angle jumps, it's lots of anti-aim patterns, and none of it that really lets up throughout the entire map. And maybe the spacing goes down a little bit on average, but the patterning is still awkward throughout the entire map.
And it's long as well, very long, nearly tiebreaker length. First break does go to Malashevsky there, so Emrek with the early advantage. Quick bring back to the bans there. Mythology's End was protected. That's quite unusual. Emrek has banned that consistently and hasn't really had a chance to play it. I was wondering if he's mind blocked or just doesn't like it. But a protect here is a bit of a plot twist, but well, Emrek's the player to make use of a DT2, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and he had it banned against him versus Xylus in the Losers Bracket Finals just now.
Yeah.
So maybe saying, hey, I kind of want access to that pick after all, but see how it goes. Malashevsky, though, he is not having a good time right now. Very clearly frustrated, finding a couple of misses here early on. And Emrek ahead by a smidge, just 17k up right now. And not even 150 combo up on Malashevsky. The accuracy a little better for Malice than for Emrek, but nothing to write home about so far. Unfortunately, this is the first pick for Malashevsky, so being behind at all on your first pick, even by only 20k, still not a good place to start out. As we come up to about a third of the way through the map, there's finally a break for Emrek once again. And now Malashevsky with that combo lead, just a little over 150 combo lead for himself, needs to hold on to this to pull the score back and try to build a score lead.
The happy of the two will certainly be Emrek. If he can stay in touching distance, he'll have the whole pool to peruse on taking this first set. So as long as he keeps it close, he has a lot of choices to get stuck into. At the moment, Malice really does need to make this work to try and keep his head in the game. I can only imagine, they haven't played too many times in the past, but it has been so close. And if anyone's going to unnerve Malice a little bit, it's going to be Emrek. He wants that mental lead on this one right out the gate.
Yeah, I mean, to touch on that, right? Last year in Corsair's Closed, it was 7-3 for Malashevsky, but that match kind of infamously, Emrek overslept it and woke up late, did not have a warm-up at all, also didn't get any bans in that match. So that one's kind of toss away. And then if you go back to 2023, of course, Emrek won both their matchups at the round table, but it did go to tiebreaker in grand finals. And then Malashevsky won winners finals in Corsair's Closed 2023, but ended up losing 7-3, 7-3 to Emrek in grand finals and bracket reset there. So he's been a little cursed in this matchup overall, and there's another one right there. Finds the drop going into the next build-up difficult section as Emrek holds on through the intro to it and keeps combo during this harder part. Does finally find another drop though, so now back over to Malashevsky with just about 100 combo lead. The score still barely in Emrek's favor. Now a couple of misses coming through for both players, but Zooms, as you said, it's not all that much of a score lead, and with the format here, you don't get a point just for winning a map. You have to be ahead in cumulative score over 2 maps in order to get a set win, with the first player 2-3 set wins winning the match. Now, if you're Malashevsky, even if you're winning this map, it's not going to be by all that much. Emrek has a very good opportunity to build up a considerable, even 50k score lead on his own first pick and take this first set pretty easily, because this score lead for Malashevsky is just not all that big.
Nah, 5k is nothing really. Even on Lazer, that is nothing. And it's the wind down now. There isn't really anything else left, I don't think. In the end, it's a very, very similar performance from both. Damn near the same score, and Emrek with the next pick in tow. Looking good in this first set, you think. Great performance from him to hold his nerve on Malice's first opening flurry here. Spin to win. He's spinning faster.
Clawing even more score back, man. What is that?
Every little helps. Man's got 500 spins per minute. Man was going in there. It's the map win for Malice. A great 8 miss there. A 6 miss from Emrek, even lower. But in the end, that 6k of lead on Malice's first pick ain't a lot. Emrek has the next pick to try and claw that back.
Yeah, let's see where he goes from here. I mean, if you are Emrek in this situation, you could potentially just use your protect here to guarantee that you get this set win, right? There are a couple of other options. I think Nomad 2 is a decent option for him, has full combo that map, but Malashevsky also extremely strong on this Nomad 2 in particular. I think you do probably avoid the Nomad 1, given Malashevsky just FC'd it in the first match of the day. And yeah, it is just going to be that Protect. Mythologia's End, mapped by Val0108. This is a rate change version, DT mod rate change of 1.3x, so goes up to 254 BPM and AR 10.3. Should feel like a normal DT approach rate and BPM, but the patterning in this is a lot more complex because the base star rating of the map is higher. That's just how mapping works. Usually you have higher star rating maps with a generally higher level of complexity, and that's what it is on this map too. As we are getting into gameplay already, it looks like should be swapping over in just a moment.
I'm a little bit worried here for Emrek. Well, not really worried for Emrek, that's the wrong word. But last time Malice played this, he did full combo it. He got 993k on it. And Malice can definitely speed. He has picked a lot of speed into his earlier opponents where perhaps he felt he had a bit more of an advantage in general. He has not been afraid to get into tapping, but this is the final boss of tapping right here. But this one should be a show.
And this map as well, it shows its age a little bit. It's definitely much older than most people are comfortable with. You can tell by the high tick rate, there's slider ticks just all over the place. You have to follow these sliders pretty diligently. As well, a lot of the patterns are right at the end of slider ends, and kind of flowing from slider end to slider head in this map is a big theme of the gameplay, which is not something you see all that often nowadays. So the style of this can be a little tricky for some players. I don't think it's going to be a problem for these two, though. Malashevsky in particular has played God knows how many older maps in his quest to 2,500 plus profile number ones. And Emrek is equally as well versed in this sort of map. And there goes actually Malashevsky with the first break. Does find it looked like a slider break there, just a miss aim on a slider head. And now Emrek off to the races, 770 combo advantage, down in accuracy, but up in combo, and trying to pull this back, but does find a miss of his own, just misaims a jump in between some of the burst patterns there, and now Malashevsky right back with the accuracy lead, with a little combo lead as well, should start to pull this score back into his favor. And Dooms, you were talking about this, Malashevsky can speed. He has higher accuracy than Emrek right now by a full percent, up at 99.5, almost 99.6 accuracy on this map on Emrek's protected pick.
He didn't even get like that far behind when Emrek was still comboing there just because of that ACK lead. So at the moment, he's holding all the aces here. Emrek is clawing back though. I think it was just an early drop. Emrek has since locked in well on the offset, and he's got his tap in. So it's up to Malashevsky, I guess, to not drop a finger lock on any of these, drop a bunch of ACK. That's going to take him quite far back at this point. So far so good though here for the Polish player. He only needs to keep his nose in front a little bit with 5k of lead his way. That's not really much, as Emrek is breathing down his neck here with 700 combo and nearly 99% once again.
I mean, it's still just ridiculously close because, you know, even though Emrek has had this good recovery, even though his ACK has built back up, Malashevsky never had the drop, right? He's still up at the high 99s, almost 99.6, right in between that and 99.5, and does have about 150 combo lead as well into the big stack stream here. That's a massive ACK drop for Malashevsky, though. He drops a full percent of accuracy on that stream, and the score lead goes back to Emrek. He only needs 5k. Right now, it's 7.5k in his favor. As long as he can hold on to this minuscule lead, he will win the set. And there's a drop from Malashevsky. That just might be it for Emrek, holding on just a little bit longer into the ending. Holding accuracy on the stack stream is enough to give him the win on Mythologia's end. It was so close until suddenly it wasn't, and the score just skyrockets up in Emrek's favor. 57k right at the end of the map with that break for Malashevsky.
Scaling into that one really well, Emrek there. Great comeback, great to hold his nerve. He's banned this so often for one reason or another, but made use of it very well here. But Malashevsky posting a great score on that as well, it's gotta be said. I think that was a double tap on the stack. He has done that a few times earlier when this map's appeared for him. Just trying to hold combo, but you can't do that against Emrek, not when ACK matters as much as it does here. Emrek, though, clawing that bit of advantage back, taking first blood. That is pretty big here for the Aussie.
Now you have Emrek picking in this second set first as well, right? We change up the pick order every set, so Malashevsky getting first pick in the first set, Emrek getting first pick in the second set. You're already up 1-0 here. Where do you go from here? Your protect is down. Malashevsky, you know, is going to be good on stuff like the DT3, but you've had some pretty solid scores on things like the Hard Rock 3 already. in your first match of the day versus Xylus. You had a pretty good score on Nomad 2, higher than Malashevsky's on the day. So I feel like those are probably the decent options right now for MREC. But it is going to be DT3 after all. Just saying, you know what, stick with the same mod pool. If you've already won on the DT2, just go back into DT. But it's a very different kind of map here in DT3.
It is far more on the control side of things. It's certainly not that quick. For these two, it's going to be pretty damn slow. More about sort of high AR reading, because it's an awkward sort of Mirage flow aim map with lots of wiggles and control in it. MREC, of course, won't have any problems with that reading. Malice shouldn't as well. You'd think MREC would be the more comfortable of the two, and Malice hasn't played this at all. I wonder if there's a reason for that. MREC's played it 3 times and posted 900k minimum on this. So he is very good on this one.
And as we get into this map, I think you'll be able to tell pretty quickly what kind of map this is. 176 BPM alt aim control, but AR 10.5 because of the rate change from DT on Lazer. 1.35x on dependence and tension. This is really tricky in terms of the high approach rate reading on a map with this kind of patterning. Usually these kinds of maps, you'll see a very comfortable approach rate, right? Something like AR 9.5, not AR 10.5.
Yeah, it certainly does push the high AR reading, even of players like this, just because it's that awkward. And to react to a lot of these little aim changes and compensate for them. But I said though, we've seen the players that have picked it be very consistent on this. It seems to be a relatively comfortable map for the players that can use it well. MREC is definitely one of those. At the moment, Malice certainly looking like he's doing just fine on it. He hasn't played it up to this point, but so far looking right at home here. There's nothing in it really. The AC is like 100 each way.
Yeah, exactly. It's completely even at this point in the map. Both players on the FC, both players with very good accuracy. The PP counter says it all. It's ticking up one at a time. One ahead for Malashevsky right now, just off the accuracy, but pretty much identical as we get into this very cool transition section into a little bit of easier patterning. Both players still on the FC means this is just going to be free score for both of them. If either of them misses in this part, that would be pretty disastrous, but I don't think we're going to see that. And fortunately not speaking anything into existence there, as both of them continue their full combo streak into the very end of the map here. I mean, Dooms, we are well over 3/4 of the way into this map now. 45 seconds left on the clock, but that's before DT. It's more like 30 seconds right now, or less, coming up on about 20 seconds left, and both of them are still full comboing. Both of them are still near 99.5 accuracy. MREC a little below, Malashevsky a little ahead. And MREC right now, I mean, he has to pray for a Malashevsky break or an act drop. He's the one behind on this map on his own second pick, with no other map picked in the set so far. Regardless of how this ends up, it's going to be a minuscule score lead for MREC, but it might not even be a lead at all, as Malashevsky also full combos. The double FC coming through for both players, but it's better accuracy for Malashevsky for a 3,800 score lead on this DT3. And now, you know, if you're MREC, you were hoping to get a score lead off of that. That was your pick in this second set, trying to go up 2-0. Now Malashevsky's ahead after your first pick with pick of the litter, right? The whole map pool is still open, basically.
Yeah, that's gotta really hurt. MREC has made that look so reliable for him, and it has been. That's his highest score. Of all the times he's played that, that's his highest score on it. And he still lost it. Malice still beat it. And here comes the Protect. With 3k, no advantage, Malice, presumably, going into his best map here. Try to seal this one out, and it's a great use of the Protect in this format. When you have a map like this where it's so close after the first one, you just need a map where you're probably going to be the stronger one when the advantage is non-existent like this. So good use of the Protect here, I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what we saw from MREC on the previous set, right? You have, it's the other way around. You have a very slight score lead for Malashevsky after the first map, But now you go into your own protect and just try to clutch it up, seal it out, and be done with this second set. Tying it up 1-1 in this case. We're starting off 1-0 in Emrek's case, but a very early break for Malashevsky on this map. It's a custom by Suicune 3 for LGA 2025. And as you can tell, probably not a normal Nomad 3, CS 6.6, AR 7.4 reading precision hybrid. This map, it's a little bit more straightforward than the Hidden 2, but calling it straightforward is definitely a bit of a stretch, as you can see with some of the aim control alt patterning in this map at AR 7.4, it can be a little rough for some players.
Yeah, you have that very small circle size with the control patterns in this. It's a very awkward combination of gimmicks that you don't see too often in tournaments. Emrek has looked quite good on this, but he has dropped a wide variance in the scores he's put out. But with 600k last time, that's pretty solid. At the moment, though, Malice 300k already here. And with that 99%, that's a lot of score that Emrek doesn't have on this either.
Yeah, it was a very, very early miss for Malashevsky on this as well. But not going to end up mattering too much as we get about halfway into the map, and Emrek has found very many misses here in this middle third or so of the map. Just finding a ton of misses one after the other, and Malashevsky still holding on to this reverse choke after missing at the very, very start here. Just no issues whatsoever into this middle section, and coming up on the end of the map now, that last third or so of the map. He's looking real solid right now, Dooms. I mean, there's not much you can do if you are Emrek. And to be clear, Emrek versus Malashevsky on this Nomad 3, Emrek last time around versus Xylus had about 660k. I don't know if he's even going to be able to match that score, as Malashevsky is already cresting his score from earlier today with still 1,000 combos, still 30 seconds to go on the clock. Finally drops the combo. But I mean, that is a massive score lead. There's no question Malashevsky is taking the second set and will be tying things up 1-1.
That's a brilliant run for Malashevsky, though. There's no other words for it. That was spectacular. It's the highest score we've seen on this map, and it's still going. Nearly 99% on that is very, very high. Not much you can really do about that. I mean, it's his protect, and he's used it with aplomb there. 800k locked in. What a score for Malashevsky. 1-1 on the sets, and we've got a game on our hands, Dio.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Back to Malashevsky, by the way, for 2 picks in a row. It's going to be 2 picks in a row for both players throughout the entire rest of this match as well, as pick order swaps on every set once again. So going into his next pick, I feel like after you full comboed the Nomad 1 earlier on, you maybe go with that, but no, he's going to go with Nomad. That's not the pick. Emrek's pick, bro. It is not your pick right now. Nice job telegraphing, but I mean, that is not your pick, unfortunately. As for Malashevsky, whose pick it actually is, maybe you go with something like the Nomad 1 again, just because you already FC'd it today. However, Emrek FC'd it last weekend. So there's... none of these picks seem very good for either of these players. I'm going to be completely honest. On the day, Emrek and Malashevsky on Nomad 4 are like 7,000 points apart. On the Hidden 3, we haven't seen that yet. Maybe that's the Malashevsky pick, but Emrek has been good on that before. On the Hard Rocks, they're also, 50k apart or so on the Hard Rock 2. The Hard Rock 3... I don't know about that one either, because Emrek already got almost 900k on that. I mean, there's just no really good picks for either of these players, because you're expecting both of them to get like 900k at least on basically everything.
Oh, I see Malice is just going to be a good sport and pick Nomad 2 for him. What a nice guy. What an absolute lad. It's Nomad 2 anyway, from Malice. Hey, you love to see a little bit of yes, gentleman's agreement going on in chat. Yeah, thing is about this one though is, Emrek does shred this, but Malice has been very good on the flow aim, especially in this tournament particularly. I've had a couple of players notably mention that the changes, I guess, the feel of like note lock and things in this kind of throws them off a little bit. They're so used to stable. They've been complaining a little bit about that because it's a bit different, but Malice has been showing very good consistency on this. So if in combo game, even if he's behind on AC, if he can make that work well enough, could still be a good shout for him to at least take something. But I guess we'll see.
We'll see how it goes. As you've talked about, yeah, flow aim is really the name of the game on this map, right? That's more what you're looking at on this than on the stamina in particular. And I believe the client is taking a while, likely because of large amounts of spectators in game. So that's possibly why we think it's taking a long time to load, but shouldn't be an issue with either of the players right now. So should be good on that front. And yeah, Dooms, this is, yes, it's stamina for like 99% of players. I don't really think it's stamina for either of these two. We watched both of them get 99 AC until the end of Mythologia's End on DT2, and that was 254 BPM streams, right? I don't think either of them is going to have all that much of an issue with 200 BPM streams, even though they're longer than what we saw on DT2. Both of them are going to be just fine on this, and it really does come down to how well you can combo that kind of limitless stamina with some really ridiculous flow aim patterns in this map, alongside these sorts of kind of tricky in-between patterns, right? Those are not trivial. They're not super hard either, but you can miss on those.
Yeah, Mazarin maps don't hold back on the awkward flow. I mean, sure, generally they curve around in comfy shapes. There's the angle changes and the direction changes that make them as mean as they are. Both these two shredding the early runs on this one, but the longer streams and the more spaced streams to come up a little bit later. There's one in the middle, and there's some pretty hard, very spaced short bursts near the end. But it never really lets up on the intensity of the flow aim here. Long stream here. Both players holding great accuracy. Malice with the higher accuracy, but the wide spacing coming here. Malice finds a drop and a few 100s. It's going to be Emrek to hold through. Plenty more of this to go, though. Can he finish this one off? Malice recovering nicely. Emrek gets through that entire spaced stream. He's locked in on that laser flow aim. No inconsistencies so far from him. Exactly what he needed.
And I think we may be seeing why Emrek wanted to pick this Dooms. He's just going off right now. There's not much difficulty in this section compared to what we just saw, right? The spacing has gone down quite a bit in this part of the map. The cornering in this part is still quite difficult, but not with the same level of spacing that we saw previously. And Emrek right now, still on the full combo, 99.3 accuracy, up 75k. And Malashevsky, good sport or not, I'm not sure you really want to pick the Nomad 2 that your opponent pre-fired against you, because something like this can easily happen. Now up above 2,000 combo for Emrek on this Nomad 2, still at 99 accuracy. A minute left to go, though. Still quite a ways left in this map as we get more stuck in to some of these ridiculous streams. Huge spacing once again, and it's Malashevsky to miss a second time as Emrek continues to hold the FC, continues to hit everything in this map, is just not letting up whatsoever. Finally misses on a jump. Who put aim in my Nomad 2? But at this point, it's already over 135,000 score lead and basically zero combo for either player with 30 seconds left to go. It's over. Emrek with a breakpoint. It's not going to give him a set point, but it's going to set him up pretty well for the rest of it.
Yeah, he's going to fall a little bit behind here, but it involves Malice hitting the spaced bursts at the end of this map, and he does. He might be able to claw it back to maybe about 100k. That's still a very solid advantage, though, considering it was Malashevsky's pick. So, yeah, fair play for the sportsmanship, but it leaves Malice for some work to do. But in the end, though, both players getting 99% on that. That's crazy. It's a double 2 miss from both of them. Actually, in the end, I guess Malice's score is worth more PP because of the AC. Insane stuff from both of these two. But 100k is the big number. and it's gone the way of the Aussie.
Yeah, it's worth more PP for Malashevsky, but it's not worth more score. That max combo doing work there for Emrek. And now Emrek just picking right into the Hard Rock 2, going for switcheroo on Malashevsky after pulling the old switcheroo in pick order, getting the pick first twice in a row in this third set. This one by Nick, one of the other LGA referees and OWC ref. It's a mostly flow aim oriented Hard Rock 2, which I like a lot after winning on the Nomad 2 for Emrek, right? It's a little bit more gimmicky in the flow aim. It is Hard Rock Precision instead of Nomad long stream flow aim, but it's still a flow aim map nonetheless.
Yeah, both of them looked very good on the flow aim side, honestly. I think it was just Emrek decided to choose violence on that last one. I mean, Malice has played this once. He got 800k. It wasn't this weekend, though. Emrek had a very good score in this against Box. He got 900k then last week. We'll see which, I guess, of those scores turns up today.
Well, it seems both of them have turned up pretty well at the start of this map, at the very least. About a third of the way in, and no drops to speak of. One act drop for Malashevsky at all. Still at 1/100 right now. Emrek at 99, to his credit. Still very good accuracy there as well. And once again, it's pretty much neck and neck between these two players. Feels like we've said that a lot in this match so far. But as we get to about halfway into this map, now really any combo breaks from here are going to be pretty devastating. We only have so much time to build back up to the max combo for score multipliers, which I believe is around 400 on Lazer scoring, as neither of these players willing to let up an inch on this Hard Rock 2. Unfortunately for Malashevsky, even if you full combo after a certain point, there's just no way you win the set because it's a 117,000 point lead for Emrek. You have to hope for Emrek to miss going into the last 30 seconds or so of the map. You have to let him get below 800k on this map if you want to win with a full combo yourself, and I just don't know if that's going to happen.
The ending's definitely the hardest part of the map, but the damage might already be done, Dio. I think you're right. Both players cresting 800k, still full comboing. This ending is insane, though, because see if anyone actually hits this. 2 FCs going into it. Both holding through. That's insane stuff from both of these two. It's disgusting behavior. It's poetry in motion. Emrek's taking the set, but that was beautiful from both of them. That's insane. I cannot believe they have seen it, both of them.
That is our second double FC of the match. DT3 and now Hard Rock 2, both double FCs for these players. And unfortunately for Malashevsky, just not working out that time around for him, as Emrek, of course, with a much bigger score lead on the Nomad 2, going to be taking the set. And now it's just up to Malashevsky to bring us to a set 5. We go into set 4 here. Emrek does have the first pick this time around. So now he is indeed going to get next pick.
And Malice just did the same thing.
He's pre-fired this set too. He's pre-fired Nomad 4. I don't know. If I'm Emrek, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm not picking the Nomad 4. Okay, never mind. We're just going to pick for each other 2 sets in a row, I guess. As Malashevsky picks the Nomad 2 for Emrek, Emrek picks the Nomad 4 for Malashevsky. So we get 2 sets in a row where they're picking for each other to start off. One player pre-fires by accident, and the other says, you know what, sure, let's play that map, I guess. Why not?
Well, I guess that makes us even now. It all works out. What goes around comes around. Yeah, Chrono Kinesia, Nomad 4. It's the Nuge Tech Classic. Is that a League of Legends reference? I think it might be. Don't be alarmed. Should be quite close between these two. Both of these two have done great damage on this one already. I think Malice has been the more consistently scoring one, but generally around the 650 to 700k mark. Emrek has posted 800ks and 900ks on this, but he's also posted 500ks. So again, a lot of variance there coming into this one. It's actually the 6th time Emrek has played this map this tournament.
Yeah, that is a lot of plays on the Nomad 4. And I think you get that variance on a map like this because it's not just that every section is difficult, right? Every section is difficult in this map, and they're all different from each other. So you can't just be consistent at one aspect of this map or at one type of tech pattern. You have to be consistent on the slider aim, on high velocity slider following, on cut streams, on wiggle streams, on accel decel streams, on just everything there is in this map for a good 3.5 minutes as we finally get stuck into the meat and potatoes of this map, the more difficult sections. About a minute in, the map finally really picks up, and it does not stop from here. Everything in the rest of the map is basically this intensity or higher for the entire rest of this pick, and all of it is slightly different as you transition from section to section and from combo color to combo color generally. As you'll see later on in this map, when the sections change, so too do the combo colors, to let you know that we've reached into a new section and a new skill set at the same time. And there we go.
Dreams coming in here. Emrek is the one to drop it early on. Malice holding on through this one so far, can make an advantage happen. It's not his pick, it's Emrek's pick, of course, meaning that Malice now has a great opportunity to make something work with his pick in tow now. A little bit more in the section to go. No problems, but the map does not stop. Snappy doubles here. Wide space doubles to manage here. It does get the break on them, and Emrek has 3 in the combo. Can he make this one work?
It's going to take a little while for this lead to come back. It's only 60k, but the combo lead is not huge, and Lazer scoring generally is a lot closer than Score V2. So 50k in Lazer is a lot more than 50k in Score V2, as we're used to in stable tournaments. Both of these players now recovering quite well. The accuracy still benefiting Emrek, and there's the break for Emrek as well. And sorry, the accuracy benefiting Malashevsky with a misspeak from me, as Malashevsky still up above 99, Emrek down basically a full percent, and now combo lead back the way of Malashevsky as well. It's all about how much of a score lead he can build up now, how long he can hold on to the combo as another break comes through for Emrek, keeps the accuracy a full percent down, keeps the combo down about 5, now 600 with another couple of breaks coming through. And this is a fantastic score for Malashevsky, still holding a huge combo into the ending of this map. Just the one break, basically halfway through the map. And Malashevsky showing why you don't want to play tech against him, right? A single break throughout this entire map is absolutely obscene. Builds himself a 130k score lead over Emrek on the Nomad 4. 1 miss to 6 on this map for 130,000 score advantage on technically Emrek's first pick, realistically Malashevsky's pick in this set. But he does have another pick left to go. Doesn't even have to win it, just has to not lose by 130k, and we go to set 5, which is big here, Doom, right? This is no bracket reset in this grand final. So if Emrek wins this set, that's it. He wins the whole tournament. We're done. We don't go to bracket reset. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. We're done. Emrek is champion. But Malashevsky, on the flip side, he does not get a second chance, right? So now you need to force set 5, and you need to win set 5 as Malashevsky. So from here, I think the real pick for Malashevsky is whichever one you lose by a very low amount, because that way in set 5 you're set up as well as possible to take the set overall and win the tournament.
We're looking, I guess, at previous maps played. That Hidden 3 Egoist is the only one that Malice hasn't played yet, but it seems like the perfect map for him. I don't think he'll mind playing that if he wants to get stuck into that. Emrek has had some good scores on that as well. Nomad 1, that would be very bold. That's probably Emrek's next pick if it goes to another set. Leaving, really, Hard Rock 3 which is another toss-up as well, considering Emmerich has posted consistently over 800k on that so far, whenever it's come up. Certainly not that No Mod 1. If you do pick that, expect some fireworks here. It's nice to see Hidden 3 though. Nice to see Malashevsky play that, because you haven't seen him have a go at it yet.
I think you want to leave up the Hidden 3 for set 5, right? Malashevsky is already up. Okay, he's going to go Hidden 3. I was going to say maybe the No Mod 1 after all. Both players have FC'd No Mod 1. So on paper, it's extremely close, but it is a little volatile as well. So if we go to set 5, which is pretty likely given 130,000 score advantage for Malashevsky, the 3 maps that we will see in set 5 are No Mod 1 and Hard Rock 3 in no particular order, with the original at the end there, Resonance of Ice Stalactites. We just have to see Malashevsky not lose this map by more than 130,000 points, and then we go to the set 5. And if you are Malashevsky, you're actually hoping you lose this. Even if you try your best, you're hoping you lose this by 100k or so. Not any more than that, but about 100k, because if you do lose this by about 100k, it would be a very bad map to have in set 5, but a very good map to have here. You still win the set.
This could potentially be the last map of the tournament, though, if Emmerich can do some magic on it. The flow aim, control, hidden, 1/6s, jazzy rhythm, jazzy tempo, relentless tempo as well. It doesn't really stop once it gets going with its control style. Malice is such a mean hidden control player, but Emmerich has shown his mettle on this one already. No major act drops on the early stages of this, both players holding way above 99. No early misses either, so no problems at all adjusting right out of the gate. Neither player has played hidden for a few maps now, so wondering if there'd be any slips early on, but no such thing.
No, when you have 2 players as ridiculously skilled as these two, as typically consistent as these two, it's tough to imagine that they have all too many adjustment issues going into a map. Pretty much ever. There's finally a slider break for Emmerich, followed by a miss right afterwards. Actually 3 misses in a row for him. Another one there to come for a 4th miss. And now Malashevsky in the lead on this. And again, it's good. He's going to win the set now, right? I think that's pretty much guaranteed. We are about halfway in. And finally a combo break does come through for Malashevsky. You're hoping that this is at worst close for Malashevsky, at best, a loss by a little bit. So what I'm hoping here is that Malashevsky doesn't win this by a huge amount, and that this was really a map he should have saved for set 5. We'll just have to see, but I think it's pretty secure that we are going to set 5 at this point, unless we see a massive collapse from Malashevsky on this map, because Emmerich has to not only claw back 40k, claw back an extra 130k afterwards.
Yeah, at the moment now, surely Malice has done enough to take this to the final set. And I think that's what we all wanted. At the end of the day, we wanted this final to go all the way. We wanted to see this one carry on. And I'm all up for this result. It's a nice run from Emmerich with 98% still. Nearly 99% from Malashevsky. It looks like, I think a Secret Box's top score on this is going to be safe. And fair play, because he was a crazy score on this earlier in the tournament. It's still going to be a solid 800k-ish for Malashevsky, though, which is very high for this. But you know what? Actually, I'll wait until after this one and I'll go into my point there. But Malashevsky, he's got Hard Rock 3 and No Mod 1 to try and seal this out, because we're going to set 5, Dio.
We are going to set 5. Going to end up being a 180k score lead for Malashevsky on set number 4. And now we go to set 5. And here's the tricky part of this last set, right? Is you have 2 maps left. No Mod 1, Hard Rock 3. And then the original. So at this point, all of your maps are locked in. We are playing No Mod 1, Hard Rock 3, and the original. Nomad 1, Hard Rock 3 in whatever order the players decide they want to play them in, but we are playing all 3 of them. Now, at the end, now that all maps are locked in, the only way you can change the outcome of set 5 is by having picked differently in previous sets, right? Leaving up different maps for set 5. So you can look back on this set afterwards and say, oh, wow, I should have picked this map differently to leave things open in set number 5 to make sure that I'm still coming out ahead in the tiebreaker set, because now you're locked into these 3 maps. Nomad 1, again, both players have FC'd this map in match. They have both pulled out FCs in LGA already. You can find them on the map's leaderboard if you turn on Lazer mode on the website. So that map is incredibly volatile, but also extremely high scoring for both players. So we could see them double FC, we could see them both get 700k, or we could see a pretty big score lead for one player or the other. That map is, I think, going to define this last set. We are going for Hard Rock 3 first, as opposed to Nomad 1. But as I said, the order doesn't really matter, right? And in fact, Malashevsky just rolling to decide which one, because there's only 3 maps left. We're playing all 3 of them anyway.
Even though I think the 2 remaining maps in the pool, I think it does probably suit Emrek a little bit better. Emrek has posted high scores on this map many times this tournament. Malashevsky hasn't played this map yet in match. And then that Nomad 1 is a big toss-up pick between the 2. As you mentioned, they could be FCing it, they could be dropping any sort of variance on that map, really. But the OG map, that original map, is more of a tech-based map. It's more of a mech tech map. And that is Malashevsky's bread and butter. So in the end, I think this is well poised. So it's depending on how those first 2 maps go. But if it gets pretty close, or if Emrek comes out a little bit ahead, I think Malice will be super worried, because that tiebreaker suits him pretty well. But when all the chips are on the table, though, that's when it matters, because it's the last 3 maps of LGA this year. Which of these 2 is taking the gold? I can't wait to see it.
And I think we missed a little interaction there between the players before this map started. Malashevsky's sight reading this, so this is a very sight readable map. But you're still sight reading one of the last maps of the tournament in grand finals, just because having not played it for the rest of the tournament. So let's see how well he does on this. It certainly doesn't look like a sight read so far, but we haven't really gotten into any of the most difficult patterns in this map yet. So let's see how it goes for him now into the first PI time. This is a very standard alt map just with Hard Rock. As Emrek told him in chat, there's really nothing crazy about this one. It is not a super difficult map to sight read, but there's a little bit of an act drop for Malashevsky. It does fall behind on one of those longer alt note chains, as Emrek still holding 99.5, Malashevsky down at 99 flat. But both players still on the FC at the end of this first PI time, just about halfway into the map, a little less than halfway in.
Yeah, Malashevsky tends to make his sight reads look like many of our 10-3 tries on a map, really. It's watching this guy play is such a joy. And I guess he's getting a little bit of score farming going on. His consistency is bang on. Doesn't need to be practicing AR10. He just plays it. It's just what it is. Bit of actually, no, it's not even a bit of lead. Actually, I think Emrek dropped a bit. They are dead even.
Yeah, it is quite literally identical accuracy, identical scores right now for both of these players, and we are 2/3 of the way into this map, Doomsday. At this point, whoever misses first probably loses, even with laser scoring, unless the other player misses a couple of times afterwards. I mean, we saw what happened with that extra max combo for Emrek on one of the previous maps, and now it is Emrek missing first. Malashevsky, how long can you hold? How big of a score lead can you build up on this map? Because as we've talked about, in this format with the cumulative score set format. It's not about winning the map, it's about winning the war. And as long as you can continue to build up more and more of a score lead, not just this one battle, but the entire war might be yours. 67k for Malashevsky going into the last 30 seconds of this, still on the full combo.
He knows that Emrek is broke, certainly. A chance to have a quick look at the score there. But now, yeah, coming out of this map, of all maps, going into that no mod 1 with a nice advantage. When it comes down to aim, consistency, maybe a little bit of nerve control. Malashevsky is going to be in a really good spot going into the second of the pickable maps here. We just get the miss, so he's not going to get too far away. But he's certainly taking a nice juicy advantage into that no mod 1 now. Great performance. What a sight read. What a sight read. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is a very nice score for Malashevsky. 960k on the one miss for him on this Hard Rock 3. And Emrek, 890k this time around. 891k the last time he played this versus Xylus earlier today in the Losers Bracket Finals, just before this match. So consistent, if nothing else, but not going to be enough to generate a score lead. And now, no mod 1. Technically, this is Emrek's pick, but you don't actually have a choice, so we're just playing the no mod 1 now. And now we go into Gendarme by Falcom Sound Team JDK. This is probably one of the most well-known tournament maps in the game, full stop. Before the era of custom tiebreakers and custom original songs, this is one that had some history in OWC 2019. This was a custom tiebreaker, but not an original song. This was one of the very first of its kind back in the day, and has had some absolutely ridiculous scores from many, many players over the years, including Malashevsky FCing this 2 hours ago versus Xylus, and Emrek one missing with 30 combo back from an FC 8 days ago, last weekend, when this was also played in LGA. Both of these players have gotten well over 950k on this map already with an FC and a choke. So you're expecting both of these players to do well on this. You're expecting that level of consistency, but how well can they hold their nerve, I think, is really the question. This is the last normal map of the tournament before we get to the original.
Consistency is definitely the name of the game. Between players of this skill cap, it is all about consistency. And I suppose all about dealing with the awkward patterns in this. The 1/3s, those 1/3 stream sections, you know, especially in the second half of this. And you have that big triangle, the big zigzag 1/3 stream. Bits like that could certainly split up players like this. Outside of that, though, it's all about just keeping cool and keep yourself in check. And for Malashevsky to try and keep his head above water, 70k is a very decent advantage. That original is coming up after this, so he's got this map and one more in this final set. Emrek really is hoping for something on the other side. Something needs to drop. At the moment, the aim is not separating them.
I mean, there's just not all that much to talk about when both of these players have, once again, identical accuracy. I think it's like 150 versus a 100 right now, or maybe one extra 100 for one player, but I mean, the accuracy is pretty much identical here. Finally, a slight lead in the accuracy for Malashevsky. 0.1% is all the difference is between these two players, and both of them getting through the first 1,000 combo, no problem. As we get out of the more aim consistency focused section and into the bursts, into more of these 1/3s later on in this section as well, you get the kind of back and forth zigzag 1/3 streams. You get these are about 195 BPM or so, by the way. Still relatively high BPM for both of these players. I think 198. There goes the back and forth zigzag stream. A bit of an act drop for Malashevsky, but both of them still holding on to the full combo. No issue there. Once again, we still have the original map after this. It is Tech Mechanics Hybrid, as Doomsday said. It is probably good for Malashevsky, but you never know because Emrek has played it before, has dropped good scores on it. More of these jumps coming through for both players. Neither of them mistiming that 1-1 gap there at the end of that section. Both still on the full combo, over 2/3 of the way into Gendarme. We are going all the way with this map, and whatever score lead is generated here will be entirely worth it for whichever player gets it, if we see a score lead at all, because at the pace these players are going, Dooms, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to curse it, but these two players are absolutely crushing this map right now. Both still above 99, both still on the FC.
99.6 from Emrek is out of this world. We are witnessing two absolute titans here at the peak of their power. More 1/3 streams coming up here, though. Will it split them up? It's got to be something awkward. It's going to be something out of left field. It has to be. 2K combo on both sides. We are entering crazy territory. Both players hit the triangle, and it's just aimed to this point. There's a wind down here. There is no way we see a double FC. There is no way we see that. I refuse to believe that's about to happen.
He said it, not me, chat. You know who to blame now. As we get right up to the end of the map here, 30 seconds left, both of them still going. They are still holding on to the double FC. It's still better accuracy for Emrek, but it's only a 10,000 score lead, Dooms. It's still going to be about 50-60k for Emrek to claw back on the original if this keeps pace, as both players still no issues hitting everything. It's 26-30 combo or 24-60 combo, I believe, in this map. We are at the end. That is a double FC on Gendarme. Are you kidding me? Emrek and Malashevsky. Wow. 3 double FCs in this pool, and the third one is on an absolutely legendary map. What are we doing, guys? This is kind of absurd that these two players are matching up on this pool, and I think this just goes to show how absurdly good both of these players are, that on 3 separate maps in this pool we get double FCs from these players. Now into the original. Resonance of Ice Stalactites, from a custom tiebreaker in 2019 to an original song in 2025. Thank you to Genobeats for this one, and to Chiari and Netnasanya for the map on this one. Pairs well with the original from now 2 weeks ago as well. Both Genobeats and Zebin, good friends, kind of collaborating the songs and themes and song names for this tournament. So shout outs to the both of them. But as you said, Dooms, this is tech mechanics. It's tech mechanics at 200 BPM. Both of these players are very good at this sort of thing.
They are. Both these players have been shredding this all tournament, and whenever it appears, this map, in terms of raw skill cap, is probably one of the harder maps in the pool as well. And that, of course, would always benefit Emrek. Emrek always wants the maps to be harder, because no one scales harder than him. But with this score difference, a little bit in the way of Malice, I'd be putting my money on Malice here, but honestly, all bets are off at this point. Surely the heart rate must be going, even for these two. But here we go, and it's awesome to see it played on an original to wrap us up again. Shout outs to Genobeats. What a banger. What a banger.
And I'll remind everyone, no bracket reset. This is it. This is the last map of LGA 2025. Emrek, if he wants to win, needs to win this map by over 58,000 points. Malashevsky just needs to prevent an Emrek win by that margin from happening. He can still lose, but he can't lose by any more than 58k in order to win this final set, win this match, and win the tournament. Both players with everything on the line in this map.
Extreme's coming out, 201 BPM, so it's certainly not a speed map for these two. Basically the same BPM as that No Mod 2, and both players having no problems at all. It is exactly the same accuracy on both sides. Just a slider end more for Malashevsky. One more slider end, that's it. Big drop though coming up. Of course, this isn't tiebreaker length. We're getting into the final drop here. The big, real meat and potatoes. Malashevsky gets the breaker on the wiggle stream. Emrek still FCing, and now he's clawing that score back. 60k. Can he do it?
It's still the full combo for Emrek. He just needs to hold a little bit longer, and he will have built up enough score. There's the swap over 58k for Emrek. That is enough score. That is enough margin of difference to win him the tournament right now. He just has to hold above 58k. And if this tournament, if this entire match and the whole bracket comes down, no, it's going to be 2 misses, in fact, from Malashevsky. Near the end, another couple come through. Emrek will finally find the drop, but I think it's just over. No combo for Malashevsky here near the end. We're into the cooldown at the end of the map as well. 20 seconds left on the clock, and Emrek with 125,000 score lead on the original Dooms. It can look good on paper, but paper isn't all we have to go off. If we only ever went by what was on paper, there would be no point in playing tournaments, in playing out the matches, and Emrek shows why you don't just go based off what's on paper. This last map, slated to be Malashevsky favored, won by Emrek by over 120,000, wins him not just the battle, and not just this war, but the entire campaign. LGA champion is Emrek.
What a performance. C2 coming into it. Malashevsky has looked unstoppable all tournament, but Emrek has pushed him all away and then some. He is the second ever Lazer Grand Arena champion. He joins Flying Tuna with the list of #1 places to their name. Oceania Strongman in LGA. They came out and forced this tournament against so many strong Aussies, so many strong Koreans as well. And in the end, it is going to be Australia on top of this LGA. But what a final, Dio. What a final. We saw every single map. We saw double FCs, multiple of them. Crazy score averages. We need to top this up, but like the lowest score anyone posted here was what? 730k? No, 600k on that Nomad 3. It was a gimmicky low AR. Apart from that, high scores on absolutely everything. A fantastic exhibition, first of all, but what a fight on this pool, man. That was crazy.
I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous. Double FC on the DT3 on Dependence and Tension, double FC on the Hard Rock 2 Switcheroo, double FC on Nomad 1 Gendarme, and finally the entire match, the entire tournament decided by the original, right? You have an ever so slight score lead for Malashevsky off of the Hard Rock 3 and going into the original with Emrek just barely getting a little bit more score on that Nomad 1, and it's decided by the final map, by the extra map that is added on to the tiebreaker set. You wouldn't have it any other way if you were writing the script for this match, right? Ridiculous performances from both players the entire way through the match, average scores up above 800k for both players, and the entire tournament decided by the original at the end of it all. Just a perfect ending, and really it encapsulates how close these two players are. If you take the greatest tournament player of all time and put him up against the greatest player of all time, really anything can happen. It's an immovable object, an unstoppable force for these two, and in this case the unstoppable force won, but there's plenty of universes where the immovable object would not have budged there at the end. If you see just a little bit more combo held by Malashevsky into the end of the original, it could have very well gone his way. And it is just a ridiculous ending to this tournament. Very well played from both players.
Yeah, that was really the perfect ending, I think. And I guess looking back on the format this year, of course, this is the second ever Lazer Grand Arena we've had, and it is definitely a test bed for lots of new ideas. As a caster, I've mostly been just following along as a viewer, really. I haven't been too involved with the back end of it, but certainly casting both of them, certainly compared to the first one we had where perhaps speed was very strong last time. I think the changes to the format this time, bringing in the sets, kind of balanced that out a little bit, and we definitely saw a more balanced, I guess, more balanced players make great use of it here with some of the scores we've seen, and I guess some of the players getting through. So really like the changes to the format this year. Obviously, the next one for Lazer Grand Arena may also come with a big swath of changes when people are trying out new things here on the OSU team. But certainly, I've really enjoyed the changes to the format in LGA this year. It's been great fun to watch and great fun to see players make use of the Protect and the different setup in terms of the picks and the bans. And playing about a few strats, we've seen players make great use of the Protect as like a third ban sometimes. Others using it obviously to pick a strong map. But lots of different ideas being tested, and it's been fun to see them figure that out over the last 3 weeks here.
Yeah, absolutely. I've especially enjoyed the extra layer of strategy that gets added on to these matches from the new format with the sets. It's been very, very cool to see players intentionally tanking sets, for example, to effectively remove picks from their opponents, which has been a very welcome change to the strategy aspect of tournaments, where usually you're just picking your best maps over and over again. This time around, not so much. We didn't get to see any of that in this grand finals, but if you go back and watch some of the VODs, it's been very, very cool to see. And as we wrap up, a huge shout out, of course, to the managers of the tournament, Azer, Chillier, Leo, to the map pool selectors, Shiv, Dada, FC Easy, Imakura, Miles, Nope, KJK, to map pool quality assurance, Azer, Nanoya, and Revo, to everyone doing the play testing, the mapping, all the rest of the commentators here, all of the referees, for going through with a huge number of matches in just 3 weekends. Of course, to our back-end developers, Leo and I'll Wait, James, and also to Shadooz for stats. And of course, a huge shout to Gino Beats and Zevin for the original songs for LGA. Dooms, any parting words as we close off the tournament?
It's just been great to be involved with another LGA, great to be involved with another production here on OS Live. Always a lot of fun, and I've had so much fun just casting LGA this year. It's a great idea, and it's always different every time it appears. Hopefully, we'll see another one next year. But it's just been great to be part of it. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, and now, finally, we close things off. Congratulations very much to our top 3 players, to Xylus on 3rd place, to Malashevsky for 2nd, and of course, to your 2025 LGA champion, Emrek, for winning the entire thing. I'm Dio, he's been Doomsday, and we'll see you all for the Catch World Cup.